Well, good Monday morning to you. Welcome to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi's. It's the Doctor's Nutrition Show. I'm your host, Jim Tabor, along with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctor's Nutrition on Cowan Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road. The lines are open at 896-0713 or 800-349-0713. This is a live call-in show, and we invite you to call in and ask questions regarding the subject of the day, or if there's another topic regarding your health that you'd like to ask the doctors, please feel free to call in. You can ask them yourselves or pass the question along to our producer, and they will pass the question along to us. So this has kind of been a Women's Month we've done because of breast cancer awareness. But the topic of today kind of affects men and women.
It can be both.
So,
there's no doubt a lot of women do have headaches.
Yes, we
but,
all.
But
and
men
guys
do
get
too.
Yes, we do.
Men do too.
I'm sure a lot of women get headaches from men.
Yes, probably.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. I've got to give us free, equal opportunity there, but and vice versa. But yeah, and there's different levels of headaches, different things that cause headaches.
Oh yeah, a lot.
There are so many. There's different kinds of headaches, and then the causes are different for each one. I mean, you actually have your tension headaches, you have your migraine headaches, you have your allergy headaches, you have your cluster headaches, you have what other headaches? Can you think of?
I mean, there's
a lot of different headaches. Hormonal headaches. I didn't mention that one because there's no doubt we see a lot of women that have hormone headaches.
More female than
that is more female. Yeah, at that point we do see more females with the hormone headaches, and it
Hangover
changes.
headaches.
Well, now that is a cause. I always say in that case, just if you know what causes it, don't do it.
That's right.
I just had to throw that in.
But it's true.
It is true.
And it's one of the worst headaches.
Yeah, true.
It's a very toxic headache.
It is. Well, it's toxins, and actually you can have toxic headaches.
I was going to say, you know, not only from alcohol. And the aldehydes that are produced therein, but a lot of things will cause toxic headaches.
A lot of research is actually showing that people with constipation have more headaches, and it's because you keep more toxins in the body. So believe it or not, constipation is one of the big causes of headaches as well, and people never think of that one. So we always say, if you don't eliminate, that's the first thing you want to do.
So that's back to that old saying, health starts in the gut.
Right.
There you go.
Like we say every time.
Right? I had someone over the weekend email me and asked me, said that we had talked about IBS stuff here not too long ago,
right?
And wanted to know that who it was, what y'all's names were, and then where it was and everything. So so many different things that we talk about that you feel free to email me or call the doctors and ask them.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that actually, like I said, headaches.
Well, I've been doing this for 3 years now, and I don't think we've really repeated.
We do a little bit, and a lot of things overlap, because when it comes to overall health, things do overlap, just like we've talked about the gut 1,000 times. But again, back to even headaches can be caused there. Now, there's other causes too, and sometimes on headaches, you can't find a cause.
Well, that's true, but the thing about a headache, I mean, if you got a hurt foot, okay, you can hobble around, you can kind of get through the day, find a place to sit down, whatever. But if you got a headache, I mean, man, it can make the day almost impossible to do. You can't think. How many times have you had somebody with a headache say they can't focus, they can't listen, they can't function?
Especially with migraine headaches, they can cause all kind of symptoms.
Oh, wow. Joanne from Gaucher on the phone with a question this morning. Good morning, Joanne. What's your question for the doctors?
Good morning.
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 I heard y'all talking about headaches, and I get headaches. I'll wake up with like a migraine. It's right now all the time, and it just hammers. And sometimes I get sick, and other times I just have to sit there and rub it till it goes away. What would be a reason for those coming on?
So is it almost every morning?
No, not every day. Probably 3 times a week at least.
With it being that, I always think about the way you're sleeping, your pillow, the angle of your head. I mean, all that makes a difference in causing headaches is when you wake up with them.
Yeah, a lot of headaches are musculoskeletal,
right.
Which means it's like she said, how you sleep, the pillow. God, there's 1,000 things can go into that.
The bed.
Yeah, the bed. I mean, all that. When you wake up with them, that's what I think of a lot of times, especially if you don't tend to have them in the afternoon and they're more just when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
On that.
Well, I do have them sometimes if I'm just sitting here.
Okay. Well, there's a few things I would suggest then. One would be magnesium, because magnesium relaxes muscles, and it's one of the best things you can do for headaches of almost all kind.
And one thing that almost everybody is deficient in.
Right, and about 90% of Americans are deficient in it. So I definitely would take some magnesium. We also have a product called Migranol, which both of those are our specials this week, but I mean, the Migranol really works as well. even help some of the inflammation. But I would also look at your pillow and maybe even look at getting your neck adjusted, because that actually all could make a difference in those headaches. And make sure you stay hydrated. Dehydration is another big cause for headaches.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, good. Thank you.
Thank you for your call.
Let us know if that doesn't take care of it. We'll dig deeper.
896-0713 or 800-349-0713 are the numbers that you can call in for. And, you know, she hit on something very important. You're sleeping. I mean, your pillow, your bed. I mean, you spend a lot of time
in the bed. A third of your life.
A third of your life, yeah, in the bed. So if you don't have a comfortable night's sleep, it's going to cause some issues.
Everybody's different on what type pillow was best for them, because I have people all the time ask me. I use a water pillow, and I have to have it or I wake up with a headache. He, on the other hand, does not like the water pillow. I mean, everybody's different, but I always say you got to find what works for you. And you really do want to try to keep it, supported. Yeah. Because it does make a big difference.
It's real important, like I say, to find, because like I say, she's got her pillow, I've got mine, different types and so on. And everything, mine's more like something you can kind of squish up and bunch up, and kind of get to the right, because depending on how I'm sleeping, whether I'm on my back or on my side, what I need. So that's
our water pillows, I like mine because it actually just gives a lot of support.
Thing weighs about 300 pounds.
It does. It's heavy, because when it's filled with water, moving it around is not as easy. That's for sure.
All right, we got a caller from Gulfport on the line with us. Good morning. What's your question for the doctors?
Yes, I'm interested in knowing what can enhance hair growth.
Okay.
I've been on thyroid medicine for some time.
Okay.
And I would like to know how to get thyroid issues resolved and getting hair growth back.
Well, that's a biggie.
We hear a lot of that.
We hear that one every day almost. And you have to kind of look and see, I mean, even if you think you got your thyroid right, there may be some fine tuning that can go on there. And then there are certain nutrients that you just have to have. And obviously from your voice, I think you're a female, right?
Yeah, she's
right?
female.
Okay. Okay. So, and females always have that hormonal issue thing going on there too. So, there's some things like we'll use something like the diindolylmethane, which is something to help you. Some
basically
hormone metabolism.
It keeps the hair from falling out, because you don't want just hair growth if you keep losing it.
Right.
What you have to do is you actually kind of keep from shedding, which would be getting the thyroid more perfect and helping the hormonal balance. And then you want the nutrients needed to keep the hair. Now, we have something called Hair, Skin, and Nails that has a combination. It does have your biotin with your collagen, but then we also have collagen in the powder form where you get a much higher dose, because collagen makes a huge difference in hair.
Yeah, hair, skin, and nails.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And so even your nutrients like zinc and copper and all those can make a difference. So we always recommend a good multivitamin, and at the same time maybe adding extra biotin and collagen.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you need.
4 years ago.
Now, male pattern baldness is a little bit, and then the dim, like you said, was really good for if you have hormonal hair loss, and a lot of women do.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for your call. 896-0713, 800-349-0713. Our phone lines are open to you. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's the Doctor's Nutrition Show, a live Monday morning show, part of Healthy Living South Mississippi with Dr. Jim and Janine Fox. And we're talking about headaches this morning, things that can cause them and things that you can do to maybe knock them out or kind of keep them from happening so much.
Yeah, one of the biggies, that we just off the air, we were just talking about stress headaches, because that's the most common headache, really and truly. And let's face it, in America today, I mean, gosh, if you listen to people, watch the news, even once a week or anything, you got stress. I mean, if it's always something. Okay, so there's a lot of stress in our lives, and we have to learn how to de-stress. And if you figure that one out, let us know. We'll package it, and we'll all make a lot of money on that one. Okay, because believe me, I mean that's a toughie trying to de-stress, and it's something that we need to do, whether it's read a book, yoga,
meditation,
whatever.
I was always afraid if I tried to do the meditating thing, I'd fall asleep.
Well, they say that's part of it too.
Yeah,
really?
Even if you do, that's okay.
Yeah, that's okay.
Part of meditation. But anytime when something happens, people can even feel their muscles just tighten.
Oh yeah, you just feel your shoulders pulling out. Next thing you know, you're like, oh God.
Now, when we mentioned magnesium, it can really help almost every kind of headache, and even a tension headache, because magnesium does relax relax the muscles. It actually does help the migraines as well. So magnesium is definitely something that we'll start with a lot. But there's a few things that we use specifically for stress that has some research for headaches. And one is actually called 5-HTP. And
take it every day?
Yep, 5-HTP.
Twice a day.
Increases your serotonin, helps you handle stress better, and there's a lot of really good research even for migraine headaches.
Yeah.
But it helps tension and migraines.
One of the biggest problems we have, and some of the newest literature that's coming out in research shows that tryptophan, which is the precursor to all that, serotonin and so on, we're very deficient in the American diet, extremely deficient, because most of the foods that you get, where we get it, turkey, for instance, is really loaded with it.
Sure.
But do you cook a turkey yourself, or do you buy a packaged processed turkey?
They actually find that it's lower in packaged processed turkey.
Almost all your packaged processed.
So that big butterball you go get, that's...
Well, no, that's a
if you
turkey.
do that,
No,
that's turkey. You cook him yourself.
We're talking about when you get your sliced meat.
Sliced and diced,
Yeah, when you get
Gotcha.
And when you get that, you're not getting as much. Or people who eat fast foods and so on a lot, that stuff's been processed to beyond recognition. And so you're not going to get the serotonin buildup that you need in your brain for the brain to function properly. So you always wind up with that anxiety and depression.
Right.
And they say that Americans, are the most depressed people in the world, and yet we're the most what you call financially secure, supposedly, in the world as well. So,
yeah, so 5-HTP is one that you can do as long as you're not on an SSRI,
it makes it too.
antidepressant. Another thing, if somebody has high cortisol, and we do that on our regular test, actually has the cortisol levels, and that is your stress hormone. We find that people that tend to have high cortisol tend to have more headaches.
Right.
So the people that have that, we have something called cortisol soothe, and what it is an adaptogen. It makes the body adapt to stress better. And if you adapt to stress better, then you can actually help with the headaches.
And when that cortisol's up, it causes headaches. It also, dysregulates your blood sugar.
Right.
And it does so many other things. It's not good for the brain. And it can actually, too much cortisol in the brain can actually damage some of the dopamine and serotonin receptors.
Actually, speaking of blood sugar,
Speaking of it,
that is another thing that can cause headaches.
oh, it sure can. That's true. That's true.
Roller coaster of blood sugar,
Oh,
which we see a lot, where people eat sugar, their sugar spikes, their insulin spikes, their sugar falls, and then it's a never-ending cycle. They eat more sugar, it goes back up, and so they're always up and down. They tend to have a lot of mood swings, a lot of fatigue, a lot of headaches. So a lot of times getting off of the sugar is the treatment for low blood sugar. People think I have low blood sugar, I need to eat sugar. That is not true. The best way to control low blood sugar is to actually get off of sugar and not have the roller coaster in the first place. So that is another reason for headaches is blood sugar issues.
Yeah.
And you see a lot of that, more than you think, especially in a lot of kids.
Really?
You see, and in kids, kids get headaches. A lot of times headaches start when people are kids.
When they are young, yeah.
And so it can either be allergy headaches, it can actually be the sugar headaches, it can be dehydration. And another thing, like I said, with kids, their diets really probably play a big role.
Most of the time, right.
Yeah, we're seeing worse and worse on children's diets. But, there's things that you can do, and you don't want kids to have headaches the rest of their life. And I had them as a kid, and I don't now. I had headaches every day of my life. And so you want to, it was a combination. It was probably a combination of the magnesium, but allergies played a big role in it.
Well, you think about it, you talk about kids getting headaches and everything, their diets aren't good. In our fast-paced world now, when you've got, both father and mother in homes that are also working, sometimes it's just easier to come in and just say, here, eat this. Eat, and not really thinking so much towards their. I'm not saying everybody. I'm not saying everybody.
Not everybody, because we have some people that do really good with the kids.
But there are some that's just the easiest way for them. Here, go to the fridge, get this. I don't care.
But it is going to cause health problems. And like I said, but we do find people that are prone to headaches. A lot of times did start as kids. So when the kids say they have a headache, I don't think they're just lying. And a lot of kids are also deficient in magnesium, just like the adults. And magnesium is very safe to give to children. And so we even have it in a powdered form for kids that can't swallow pills.
And you actually do, we're always talking about doing blood work and everything, and you actually will do blood work on children.
We have tons come in. And we're seeing a lot of blood sugar issues in a lot of the kids today.
Right. And the thing about the food and food supply and so on, we really need to be more aware of what we're eating. Try to get cut that sugar out and so on. And eating habits start in childhood. So if you develop, or if you cause Junior to develop a bad eating habit as a kid, as a small child, as they grow up into adulthood, they're going to carry that habit with them.
It's harder to break.
Yeah, it's much harder to break. And then, it's the consequences of 20, 30, 40 years of eating bad and that's why some people can't, connect the dots because it might take 20, 30 years.
Now, one more thing with kids, and I mean adults too, but you want to recognize it as a kid, is eye strain. Eye strain can be another cause of headache. So if a kid has headaches, make sure they get the eyes checked. That's a simple thing, because if they do have an eye problem, sometimes they don't know it. They might have always been a little blurry and don't know that there was a problem.
Been there, done that.
Yeah.
When I was very young, when I first found out that I was having issues in class, it's like you're trying to strain to see,
and that gives you a
and
headache
everything,
too.
and you get a headache, and you go home and tell your parents, and they finally, they had my eyes checked. Sure enough, man, I needed glasses.
So that's another thing, just because, gosh, most of what we're talking about really starts as a kid. Mm-hmm. Now a lot of the stress headaches probably get worse as they get older, although teenagers tend to have a lot of stress too.
Well, teenagers,
does.
That's a real stressful time in life.
It is, and they don't know for sure what they're going to do. And we see a lot of stress hormone, a lot of high cortisol in teenagers and 20s. So we do see a lot of stress in that age group. But the eye strain that you haven't caught yet definitely can come then. Magnesium deficiency starts there. Allergies can start as a child, so a lot of it.
All right. Well, we'll be right back with this week's special and more of your calls. And welcome back to our Monday morning live edition of Healthy Living South Mississippi. It's the Doctor's Nutrition Show. Jim Tabor along with Doctors Jim and Janine Fox of Doctor's Nutrition, located on Callan Road in Gulfport, just south of Pass Road. Diane from D'Iberville asked, what is the best thing to take for a headache? Aspirin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, or what?
I would say probably start with something natural like magnesium. If it's something that's pretty frequent, okay?
Right.
I mean, it's not something, if it's frequent, you're looking more at something like magnesium deficiency, than aspirin deficiency. And so, those medications, aspirin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, all those would be kind of the last thing you'd want to try for it. So try something.
And on all those, it depends on the person on which one works best. But we always say try to get to the root of the problem. If you're just taking, whether it's aspirin, Tylenol, ibuprofen, whatever it is, you're putting a Band-Aid on it. You're really not getting to what's causing the headaches.
Right.
And so if you get to the cause, like I said, when I was a kid, I had them, and part of it was allergies. I think part of it was tension. When I actually took stuff to balance my hormones, I take a lot of stuff for allergies. I definitely take magnesium. I don't have the headaches
tablets?
every day. Yeah,
capsules.
we do. Capsules is your most likely, because people don't like to have to mix things. We have it in powdered form. We even have it in a gel where you rub it on the outside of the skin. And one of the reasons to do the gel is some people, magnesium gives them diarrhea. And it's a very common side effect to magnesium is diarrhea. And people that just can't take it, but they do really well with magnesium, we have it in a transdermal rub.
Oh, okay.
So we have magnesium in every way because magnesium is so important for your health.
Well, speaking of this week's specials.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Of course,
Okay.
magnesium's one of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We thought
Magnesium.
magnesium would be one of the best, but that Migranol is kind of a combination. Now, that's not something you take when you have a migraine. That's something you take to prevent
Right,
them
it's a
from having-
preventative.
Yeah, it's a preventative. So it's something you take every day to kind of prevent them from coming.
Right.
And of course,
and it's a combination of,
Oh,
it
yeah.
does have your magnesium in it,
It
but it
does.
has something called B2, which has a lot of research for migraine headaches, something called feverfew, which feverfew is probably one of your biggest herbals for headaches. And it has a lot of anti-inflammatory effects.
Right.
So the Migranol is a really good combination. Another herb that we just haven't mentioned for headaches is something called Petitalex or Butterbur. It's another one that actually can be used for headaches. So we have a lot of different things, and we have all those in the store, and we have everything separately. We have the B2 separately, because a lot of people ask for that.
And it's sort of like Diane's question, which one works best? We're going to have to find out. I mean, you just have to try something on a person, just like with Diane. You'd have to try aspirin or Tylenol or ibuprofen.
I have a few people that tell me, with the headache, they've had them their whole life, and they say, man, if I take a handful of magnesium, I might get diarrhea, but I'd rather diarrhea than a headache. I mean, I hear that a lot from people.
I don't know about that one.
Now, not everybody gets diarrhea from it. Now, in Europe, if you go in with a migraine into the emergency room, you don't get pain medicine.
No.
You get an IV of magnesium.
Really?
That is
they
the
just hit you with an IV because it's so much faster.
IV magnesium works like 100% of the time because it's straight to the system.
And it's a vasodilator.
Does it work well with the migraines? I mean, what's
Yes, it does.
That's one of the first things they do.
Yes, it does.
European medicine and American medicine is a lot different in that respect. There it's socialized medicine. So one of the things they're striving to do is keep the cost down. Well, magnesium is a whole lot cheaper than some of the drugs that we use here in the United States. So the first thing they try is something simple and cheap like magnesium, and sure enough, it
And
works.
even we'll try the magnesium first. The Migranol still isn't expensive, and the Migranol, we have a lot of people say how well it works, and nothing's ever worked for them otherwise. And like I said, drink enough water. Dehydration is one of the big causes for headaches.
So many people we see are dehydrated.
Yeah, dehydrated, blood sugar issues. So, you know, dietary changes can make a difference too. But there's a lot of supplements that help. Now, on an allergy end, we use something called Aller 7 Plus that really helps. I mean, we have people that say they can't believe that their headaches have went away with that. But
And I've heard
that
you
is if
mention
it's an
before
allergy
about
headache.
Allergena.
Yeah, Allergene is another good
It's a
one.
homeopathic that
Yeah.
desensitizes, and you know, our allergy season is really kind of long here. It runs from you know, December the 31st to January the 1st. I mean, it runs all year. You know?
Yeah, we pretty
Right.
much have some sort of allergen all year
something.
round.
Yeah, there's something blooming
So-
all the time.
Yeah.
We
So-
are in a high allergy area, which a lot of the headaches, even if you don't know they're for allergies, I mean, a lot of times they are.
Right.
Sometimes the only symptom on allergies is a headache.
Right.
You don't have to be stopped up, runny nose, eyes run. You don't have to have all that. It can just be your actual headache.
And there's a difference between whenever you have a, you know, like I will sometimes get that tension headache in the base of your skull.
Right.
And then if you have one right between your eyes,
Yeah.
you know, or up in here, what's it, you know, what I say is basically a sinus headache.
Well,
It can be.
It can be, and that can be allergies too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it could, and you know, it can be allergies to something you eat, something you're exposed to, like in the air. I mean, gosh, there's so many ways of getting allergies.
Here's one for you. Because every now and then I'll get one of these. All of a sudden I'll just get this very sharp pain
Temple.
in the temple. Just, I mean, it's just like somebody has hit me real hard. All of a sudden, just to where you just wince from pain.
But that's just like a few seconds.
It may last 5 seconds
Yeah.
or so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily say that's a headache. And there are a lot of times where they don't know why that happens.
Well, I was going to say, but it's a pain.
Of course, my dad would always joke
It's a
if
pain
I
in
had
the
a
head,
head, if I had a
exactly.
head like that, it'd hurt too. So
There you go.
dads are always great with little things like that. But 896-0713, 800-349-0713. We have just a couple of minutes left to take your phone calls, but do want to mention that Doctor's Nutrition is open Monday through Saturday from 11 to 2 on Saturdays, just to go by and get refills, things like that. But Monday through Friday, you're open from 8 a.m. because you start taking blood at 8 a.m. And then y'all are there Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays
Right.
from 10 to 5:30. And of course,
Dr.
Dr. Bull
Bull's
there is Monday through Friday.
Right.
And a great staff of people.
And we did want to tell people also to make sure you go to our Facebook page
Yes.
and like us on Facebook and start following us, because we're putting a lot of really good research, really good information, and really good tips for health on our Facebook page. And we're all, like I said, we also have Twitter and we also have YouTube and all that stuff that
Stuff that we
we're
don't
getting
even know what it
started.
is,
Yeah,
you
we're
know
getting
what
all
I mean?
that started. But of course, the Facebook is going right now. So make sure you go and like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, and of course you have on your Facebook, I mean your website too. You have things you can go in there and watch your blogs or your
Yeah,
tapings
blogs,
that you do.
and also we have podcasts.
Your
So
podcasts,
podcasts
yeah.
are radio shows similar to this show, and we pick a topic, and it's just us two
Right.
on there talking about the topic. So we have a lot of
And
topics.
you can actually, from the website, you can actually find this show.
Right.
Will be archived there too, so that you can get to it. So if you miss it or have somebody else you want to watch it, you know.
Yeah,
tell
you
them,
can send it
it's
to
still
them.
there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
All
do
right,
it.
so well, next week, of course, will be the man. October is like over.
It's over.
already.
Yeah,
It's
it's over.
November.
I know
Like-
November is about to start. which-
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
No, not tomorrow. The next day.
Yep. But anyway, so next
okay.
Monday is we do our open line Monday, the first Monday of the month, so you can call in and ask questions about anything regarding it, which most people do anyway, anytime during the week. And besides our regular topic that we talk
Right.
about, they'll ask questions. And that's what this show's all about. That's why we invite you to call in and ask the doctors questions, because we want to help you live a healthier lifestyle, no matter what it is that we can actually do for you. So get out,
That's it.
enjoy the day, enjoy the week. It's beautiful. It's going to be a beautiful week, and we'll see you next Monday.